So good evening, Kelvin and Ramakrishna. Can you hear me, two of you? Am I audible? I'm audible to KP. But what about Kelvin? Can you hear me, Kelvin? Okay, alright. So today the class is of business law. So today we are discussing about two topics. The first one which we'll be discussing is the good evening to both of you. So the first topic which we are discussing today is a wagering agreement, and the second thing is the sale of goods act. Okay. So what is a wagering agreement, or rather wagering agreement? You know what is wagering? Wagering means Kelvin and KP. What is the meaning of wagering? Yes, it means a kind of betting or gambling, we can say. So wagering agreement is a agreement which is based on betting. At the basis of this contract is a bet. The nature of this type of a contract is betting. It is not a as we normally have the contracts, a sure short contract. It's not so. It is based on a betting, and it is based on a uncertain event. The event may or may not occur. It depends on the situation. Okay, just 1 minute. So wagering agreement is of uncertain nature. It is dependent on the happening or non-happening of a certain event. Yes, it's not a valid contract. If it's a wagering agreement, then we cannot enforce it in law. If a party is not able to get what it desired, it cannot go for legal action. That is not allowed. Okay, suppose for example, A and B enter into a contract. Suppose there is a lottery ticket and A is taking a lottery ticket from B. So that is again a wagering agreement. In case he does not get the prize, he is not liable to, or rather A is not liable to give any amount to B. Okay, because it's a wagering agreement. The nature is of gambling. Alright, so what is a wager? Literally the word wager means a bet, something to be lost or won on the result of a doubtful issue. It's a game of chance, and therefore wagering agreements are nothing but ordinary betting agreements. So thus A and B mutually agree that if it rains today, A will pay B rupees 100. If it does not, then B will pay to A. And therefore, or where C and D enter into agreement that on tossing up a coin, if it falls head upwards, C will pay to O, and if it falls tail upwards, D will pay to C. So this is a wagering agreement. There is no concrete basis in these types of agreements. So if we have to define wager, so how can we define it? It is the agreement of gaming and wagering. It is that in which one party is to win and the other upon a future every which at the time C. There's something wrong over here. It's like if it's a kind of gaming type of a thing, and one party will win over the other in case of the happening or non-happening of a certain event. So that is wagering. So let's go to further details. So wagering contract is the one by which two persons professing to hold opposite views touching the issue of a certain uncertain event mutually agree independent upon the determination of the event. So one shall win from and the other pay or hand over to him a sum of money or other, neither of the contracting parties. Yeah, and most important thing is that the consideration in this case is not always money. It can be something like money, something equivalent to money. Okay, of the nature of money is also acceptable. Like A will give to B a piece of land if B will win the lottery ticket. So that is again a wagering agreement. Not only money is the subject matter of interest. So whether he will win or lose being dependent on the issue of the event and therefore remaining uncertain until that issue is known. If either of the parties may win but cannot lose, or may lose but cannot win, it is not a wagering contract. Okay, like there's always a 50-50 case in this. You take the lottery ticket, you will either win it or you will not win it. You bet on a horse in the horse race. Then in that case, your horse is either going to win or not going to win. Sorry, there was someone at my door. Yeah, so I was telling about this. It is like you will either win or you will lose. If it's like if you do not win, then it's fine. I mean, you are not having any loss. You are not suffering a loss. Then that is not a wagering agreement. You have to lose something. All right. So certain aspects of the above definition require to be emphasized. So wager is a game of chance, this is important, in which the contingency of either gain or loss is wholly dependent on an uncertain event. It is by nature a contingent contract. You understand contingent contract, Kelvin? I think we did it in our previous class. Contingent contracts. You know what are those? Contingent. Hello. Kelvin, you remember contingent contract. Contingent contract is a type of contract in which the occurrence or in which the performance of a contract is dependent on the happening of an uncertain event. Like, if it is going to rain today, I will give you 100 rupees. So this is a contingent contract. For example, the most common examples are of the wagering contracts are the lottery ticket, the horse race, then any kind of betting that is done. Betting on cricket match, football match, whatever. That is also a wagering contract. Then secondly, it's unpredictable actually, Kelvin. It's not predictive, it's unpredictable. Alright? So it is here that wagering agreements differ from insurance contracts which are valid because parties have an interest to protect the life of property and have for that very reason entered into a contract of insurance. Yes, like then the question which comes is that why is an insurance contract not regarded as a wagering agreement? Why is it a valid agreement? It is because the parties which are involved in case of an insurance contract, they have insurable interest in either life of a person or in a property. Okay, so that is why it is a contract of insurance, not a wagering agreement. In the wagering agreement, the two parties do not have any interest in the agreement. It is just by chance, it is just a game. Okay. So what are the essential features of a wager? First is there must be a promise to pay money or money's worth. The promise must be conditional on an event's happening or not happening. The event must be an uncertain one. If one of the parties has the event in its own hands, the transaction is not a wager. Both the parties should have an equal chance to win or an equal chance to lose. That is the punchline of this. So yeah, each party must stand to win or lose. An agreement is not a wager if one party may only win and cannot lose, or if that we have discussed. Then no party should have a proprietary interest in the event. The stake must be the only interest which the parties have in the agreement. So, according to section 30 of the Indian business law, the wagering contracts are void and no suit shall be brought for recovering anything. Okay, there cannot be a legal action in case of a non-performance of a wagering contract. Okay, now we continue with this. Now the section makes an exception in favor of certain prizes for horse racing by providing further 1 minute. Some ties cutting is going on in the neighborhood. So that sound was very disturbing. Yes. So this section makes an exception in favor of certain prizes for horses racing by providing further that this section shall not be deemed to render unlawful a subscription, a contribution, or agreement to subscribe or contribute made or entered into for or towards any played prize or sum of money, or the value or amount of 500 rupees or upwards to be awarded to the winner or winners of any horse race. So A bet on a horse carrying a prize of 500 or more to the winner has been made valid under the exception. Alright. So horse racing is, we can say, one exception to this very rule of the wagering contracts. But with a view to protecting the poor persons from gambling, a bet on a horse race carrying a prize of less than 500 remains a wager. So if the prize money is above 500, then it is not a. So says that I want to buy goods from you, but A says, okay, I will sell my goods to you, but I am expecting a ship to arrive in the next week, so I am also expecting that when ship will come, I will be able to give you the whole lot of goods. Means I'll be able to fulfill your order. So this is a contingent contract, because in this case the performance of the contract, that is the sale is the main thing in the contract, that is dependent on the arrival of the ship. That is a contingent event. It may or may not happen. If the ship will not come, then the goods will not be sold by A to B. Okay, so that is a contingent contract. Yes, Prabha, good evening. You're really late today, more than half an hour. You missed out half of the class. We have discussed about wagering contracts. Okay, now we are on the second topic, that is contract of sale of goods, and I have just started this one. Kelvin, did you get that? Okay, let's just continue. So it is a contract by which the ownership of movable goods is transferred from the seller to the buyer. The term contract of sale is defined in section 4(1) of the Sales of Goods Act as: a contract of sales of goods is a contract whereby the seller transfers or agrees to transfer the property in goods to the buyer for a price. Yes, we either conduct a sale, or we conduct like cash sale, or we conduct a future sale. So future sale is the sale to which the rules of this Contract of Sales of Good Act is applicable. So this extends to the whole of India except for the state of Jammu and Kashmir. In India I am talking about. So what are the essentials of a contract of sale? First, there should be two parties. There should be goods. There should be transfer of property, means transfer of ownership rights. There should be price involved, money transaction, includes both a sale and an agreement to sale. Okay. No formalities are required. Like suppose this point includes both sale and agreement to sale. I go to a shop, I like the furniture and I take it. So that is a sale. Okay. I go to a electronic shop, I like the air conditioner. In that case, I issue a check to the party in the name of the vendor, and I book the air conditioner and take it to my home, get it delivered at my home. And today is Thursday, the day on which I have gone for the shopping. Now Friday will be holiday due to Good Friday, Saturday is off, Sunday is off, Monday is some other holiday, public holiday. So for 4 days, the bank is not going to open. It will remain closed. So in this case, this is an example of agreement to sale. The party has agreed to sell to me the air conditioner. I haven't paid them the cash yet. Okay. So that is agreement to sale. Now if there is any discrepancy in my check and the vendor takes it to the bank and does not get the payment, then in that case he can go to court and have all the rights and benefits. Okay. So in that case, the essentials or the points of this contract are going to apply. Clauses are going to apply. Now, what is the consideration in this case is the price. So the price can be fixed by the contract or it can be fixed by third parties as well. It depends. Like suppose you take a franchisee. So if you are going to a franchisee, so in that case the part is decided by the manufacturer and that has to be accepted by the vendor as well, the franchisee owner. So that is by third party. Now what is the good? The goods, the definition is the subject matter of a contract of sales of goods is goods. So according to section 2.7, goods means every kind of movable property other than actionable claims and money. Okay. Now what are these actionable claims that we will see? And include stocks and shares, growing crops, grass and things attached to or forming the part of the land which are agreed to be served before the sale or under the contract of sale. Okay. Paintings, is that actionable claim, Prabha? I actually don't know about this. Just a minute. Actionable claim is like okay. Yeah, actionable claim is like you cannot claim against not paintings, Prabha. It's like if any property that has been mortgaged, that is already attached as a security to some other thing, either to a bank or to a third party or to somebody else, then you cannot take that to be a part of your property. In that case, you cannot include it in your property count and it is not a good then. Okay, it is, you don't have an interest in that now. The monetary interest or monetary benefit of that is going to go to the holder of it. Okay. Now what is actionable claim? Means a claim which can be enforced through the court of law. Example, a debt due from one person to another is an actionable claim. This is the other definition for that. Same, it's somewhat same when you are liable to pay something to another. Like this is claim, and when your property is attached, it is mortgaged, then that is actionable. That cannot be a claim, that can be a property. Okay, actionable property we can say. Now goods, goodwill, trademark, copyright, patent, water, gas, electricity means it does not necessarily be a physical good. It can be a non-physical good as well, like goodwill, trademark, copyright. These do not have a physical existence. We cannot see and touch them. Okay, we can only feel them. So they are also goods. Existing, specific, unascertained goods. This is the classification of goods. Then future goods. This is applicable to goods which are subject to the matter of agreement to sale. Contingent goods, that is the goods arriving by ships, etc., which are not with us in possession, which are going to come. Okay. Now for example, unascertained goods. Can you give me one example of the same? Unascertained goods. Anything? Kelvin? Ramakrishnan, Satish, Prabha. Unascertained is when you are not sure what you are going to get. So for example, not order, not identified. The best example to unascertained goods is a baby in the womb. Suppose there is a, like, this is very popular these days, people have contracts for, like, people sell their baby, isn't it? It is common. It is in advance and it is like legally decided. So that is an unascertained good. You do not know it's going to be a boy or a girl. Yeah, surrogation. That is exactly. We can call it surrogation, in which the baby of a third party is born by another person. So that is, it is good to some extent. Like it is good for the people who cannot have issue the natural way. and if they can afford, they can do it, and they can help somebody who is in need. Okay, but if people make it a business, like some people make it a business, what do? This is their business. They are going to keep others' baby in their womb, and then these ladies are going to sell them off. That is not good. That is, you are playing with your own health. You are playing with a future of a baby. That is not good. Okay, but if it is for genuine good, then it's fine. A genuine reason, then surrogation is alright. Now, what is the difference between sale and agreement to sale? Sale, the ownership is transferred immediately, and in agreement to sell at some future date. It is an executed contract, means it is done and over. Agreement to sell is executory, it will be done in future. A seller can sue for the price, he has all the right of unpaid seller. A seller can sue only for damages, okay, cannot ask for the price. Sale takes place in case of existing goods. Agreement to sell takes place in case of future goods, like we do online shopping. That is an example of agreement to sell. We pay in advance sometimes, and the good is delivered to us after a while. That is there. Then a buyer bears the risk. In this case, seller bears the risk. Yeah, you do not know whether you will be able to. In this case, like seller is not sure whether he'll be able to recover the money or not. Is it loaded at your end? Yeah, now I can see. So, stipulation, condition and warranty. So, a representation which forms a part of the contract of sale and affects the contract is called a stipulation. It's a clause which is going to affect the contract of sale, and it is valid and mentioned part of the contract of sale. So, it is called a stipulation. And a stipulation which is most important for formation of the contract is known as a condition. Like suppose there is a contract of marriage between two people, and one party puts the boy side, they puts the condition that the girl has to have a height of more than 5.5 inches. So that is a condition. It is an important condition, something that is essential for the formation of the contract. Okay. Then a stipulation which is collateral or of least importance for the formation of the contract of sale is known as a warranty. Like for some people, it may be of least importance that whether the girl is like working or not working. For some people it may be. So that is a warranty. Alright. So you understand the difference between the two? Stipulation is a clause that is mentioned in the contract, and it is inbuilt in the contract. It has to be there. Then condition is something that is very essential for the formation of the contract, and warranty is something that is not very important. The warranty can be that the girl is having a weak eyesight, means she is wearing glasses, so, and of very high power or low power. So that is a warranty. That is not something very important or of primary importance to the contract. Now conditions are, first is, a condition is a stipulation essential to the main purpose of the contract, the breach of which gives rise to right to treat the contract as repudiated. Example, buyer wanted a horse which could run at a speed of 45 miles per hour. And if somebody sells him a horse which is not able to run at this speed, then it is a breach of condition and he can enforce the law. He can go condition as to description, condition as to sample as well as description. Now we'll see each of these in detail. Okay. So condition as to title, what does that mean? It is the most important implied condition in a contract of sale that seller has the right to sell the goods. Means if we are going to a seller, then we assume that he is having the right to sell those goods. He is already the owner of those goods. Then only he can sell. If he is not, then he cannot sell those goods. Okay. Yes, Prabha, these are all, like we can say, subdivisions of this contract, this act. Okay. The condition as to description. Whenever the goods are sold by description, the implied condition is that the goods shall correspond with the description. Again, in case of online shopping, you see only the description. Or like Home Shop 18, when you are watching it on television, you get a description that this is this, this is that, isn't it? So that is, you expect that the product will exactly be the same. Then condition as to sample. This is very much popular in the case of a wholesale market. So if you are shown a sample, then the product has to correspond to the sample. It has to be similar to that. If it is not, then we can sue the other party in the court. In a sale by sample, there is implied condition that the goods shall correspond with the sample in quality and the goods shall be free from defects which render them unmerchantable. So sale by sample has the following three conditions: correspondence of goods with sample in quality, reasonable opportunity of comparing the goods with the sample, and merchantability of goods. Means merchantability of goods means the goods should be free from any kind of defect and they should be resellable as well. Okay, that is condition as to sample. That basically means that the goods should correspond to the sample which is shown. When you buy a house from a builder, then you buy it on the basis of the sample he shows to you, either in a brochure or a constructed one. So you assume that your house will also be similar, isn't it? Then condition as to sample as well as description. Sometimes the seller shows sample to the buyer and also gives him description. So in such case, the implied condition is that the goods shall correspond with both the sample as well as description. Again, online shopping. You see the program on the television, then what happens is the hosts which are there, they show you the sample as well and they give you the description also. So you expect that your product will exactly be in accordance with that. Now condition as to merchantability. So that means if goods are purchased for resale, they should be immediately resellable. Like suppose we are taking goods and then if we have to do some kind of processing on it further, then that is not merchantability unless and until there is a clause. If it is mentioned by the buyer and we have agreed to it previously, then we cannot claim. But if it not, then we can claim to the buyer that you have done wrong. Then if goods are purchased for self-use, then they should be reasonably fit for the purpose for which they are generally used. Okay, like suppose somebody buys a rope from the market, and what is the basic purpose of the rope? Suppose you take a fan. The basic purpose of the fan is to give you fresh air, to help you stay cool and calm, isn't it? Now if you use that fan, I'm giving a very bad example, but just to make it clear, I'm giving that. If you use the fan to hang yourself from there for committing a suicide, and in that case the fan just comes out of the ceiling wall, so are you going to go to the merchant and claim that you have sold the wrong item to me? Your product is not merchantable. Are you going to say that? No, you cannot. That is a very weird example, but that is just to make the things clear. So it is expected that we are going to use it for the purpose for which we have taken. Now, what is the difference between condition and warranty? Although we have seen it, like condition is essential to the contract and warranty is not essential, it is secondary. It is of vital importance, it is not of vital importance. The main contract can be completed even if warranty is not fulfilled. Okay? So in case of breach of condition, the buyer may put an end to the contract. In case of breach of warranty, the buyer cannot put an end to the contract. You cannot say, no, I will not continue with the contract. So that is there. The breach of condition may be treated as a breach of warranty. A breach of warranty cannot be treated as a breach of condition. This is important because condition is a very wider term. So if the condition is violated, then obviously we assume that the warranty is also not fulfilled. But if the warranty is not fulfilled, then we cannot say that condition is also not fulfilled. The last thing to this topic is doctrine of caveat emptor. Now what does this say is that let the buyer be aware. This is the English meaning of this caveat emptor phrase. Okay. So this says that it is a fundamental principle of the law of sale of goods. It means the caution buyer, that is, let the buyer beware. In other words, it is no part of the seller's duty to point out defects in his own goods. The buyer must inspect the goods to find out if they will suit his purpose. Example, certain pigs are sold subject to all faults. Okay, these pigs being infected cause typhoid to the other healthy pigs of the buyer. The rule of caveat emptor would apply. This was the duty of the buyer to check at the time of making the contract that whether the pigs were infectious or not. If he did not do that at that time, he cannot claim later on. Okay? Clear? So like when you are going to a shop and you are purchasing a good, you are purchasing a t-shirt, so you purchase it, and when you bring it home, then you see that it has got a small hole in it. So it's very rare that in that case you go and claim to the shopkeeper. If there are many chances that he will change it, but in case he refuses, you cannot claim anything from that seller, because it was assumed that you have seen the product very well. Okay. So what are the exceptions to this? Condition as to quality or fitness for buyer's purpose. Where the seller makes a false representation or obtains the consent of the buyer by fraud. That is an exceptional case. Then condition as to merchantability, that we have discussed. Merchantability means ready to be used, ready to be resold. Condition as to wholesomeness, condition implied by the custom or trade usage. Okay, like if you are buying medicine from a medical shop, then you assume that it is not expiry, because that is a trade policy, that a shopkeeper will not sell the out of date or expiry dated product. Okay, so that is a implied condition by custom. Okay, so this brings us to the end of this topic and to the end of the class as well. This was about the Sales of Goods Act. It's a wide topic. This was a part of it. Maybe in the upcoming classes we can do the other one. Alright. So, and okay, tomorrow you don't have a class. I mean, it's for BBA students. Tomorrow we will not be having the class. I won't be available to take the class. Yeah, I just wanted to tell that for those who are having a class tomorrow. So see you all in the next class. That will be on Thursday. Thursday class we will be meeting. So I hope everybody is going to attend. Prabha, it varies. Yeah, it is 8 p.m. 2 days it is 8 p.m. That is on Thursday and Sunday. But for Saturday it is 5 p.m. UAE timing. Alright. The timings have changed now for this one. So see you all on Thursday, and I hope you all will attend, because the students are missing the classes and then they are writing to the coordinator that we are not able to understand. So like, if you are going to miss the class, then you will have a problem, because the topics in every subject are interrelated, whether it is business English, whether it is business law, whether it is organizational behavior, or it is economics. So the subjects are interrelated, topics are interrelated. So you have to attend all the classes so that you are able to, the teacher is able to save the time in explaining that topic over and over again, and you are able to catch hold of it at one go. Okay? So you have to take care of this thing, because we cannot waste all the time in explaining one thing only. We have to cover the course also. So we need to take care of that. So bye everybody. Thanks for your time. Have a great evening and have a great week ahead. Bye. Good night. Take care. Thanks for your time. Bye everyone. Good night. Please fill the feedback form which you'll be getting. Good night.